Hey, everybody, and welcome to Ink Spotlights from Comix Wellspring. This is the series where we shine the spotlight on the immensely talented creators we print with. And today, we're joined by Ron Purtee to talk about Sandwich and some of his journey and a little bit more. Ron, tell us about Sandwich and everything you do. You do so much, actually.
I do a lot, and it's Purtee, but
Purtee, I,
everybody gets it wrong.
I
You
tried
know
three
what
times. I'm so
though?
sorry.
You're fine because yours is okay, and it almost sounds like I'm a Doctor Who. But most people say Purdy, and it's like there's no D, there's
Mm,
no Y.
yeah,
You're obviously on the crack cocaine because you can't read, and you must be from Jacksonville, Florida. No offense to anybody from Florida, actually. Well, yeah,
I
but
mean,
so Sam is a very weird character because he started off as an adult kids book type thing. You know how there's like people who pass things up and make it look like a kids book, but it's really more adult
yeah,
fare.
100%. Hmm.
And then I was getting some blowback from certain people saying, well, that won't fly, blah blah blah. And I had an allergic reaction to some medicine, and I went to the hospital, and I was high on Benadryl and Tramadol, and I drove home high on all that medicine. And then I went and I was just like, you know what? They're right. And I redid the entire first issue in one day or one night,
Oh,
actually. And I was high as a kite. And when I did it, and
I
he
love.
became this noir paranormal detective. And I'm 100%. I'm not gonna lie. I don't never lie about it. But the first issue is basically a Dame to Kill For with food puns.
Ooh, that sounds fun in
Yeah,
general.
like there's a like instead of Dwight, you've got Sam, and instead of the Ava Green character, you've got full of bologna. It's a bologna sandwich. And the person that you kill isn't her husband. It is her husband, but he's a ham sandwich.
That's great.
And it's very like simple art. And I want to say it's bad, but it's simple and it fits the story. I never thought I would ever get something like that done, and because I never thought I was good enough. And then I saw stuff like, now Jeff Lemire, I love you to death if you see this, but your art isn't the same as like a J. Scott Campbell.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely an acquired taste, I guess.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool though.
you
I
know,
mean, that's
and
what gives India flavor sometimes too. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Yeah.
exactly. And then to be fair, I never read Milk and Cheese until after issue 1 of Sandwich came out, just so Evan Dorkin doesn't sue me.
We have it in verbal now.
It's verbal, yes, exactly. But Evan, if you do read Sam and you like it and you'd like to help get it somewhere, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of happened, but it didn't happen until after I co-wrote the first issue of Tales of Shock and Terror, which is like an EC-inspired horror comic that came out from Cutthroat Comics.
Mhm.
And that one sold for what was printed. From what I gather, there's not many copies left. And there was a huge print run. Not like we're in Diamond print run, but for an indie, it's pretty big.
That's awesome.
And so that one's almost sold out. They had 4 covers for it.
Oh wow, dang, that's
So
awesome.
and they also there's the only covers left are cover A. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really
Um,
cool actually.
yeah, so it's one of those situations where and I had to fit horror into Sam somehow because that's my bag is horror.
Ooh,
So like I have all sorts of stuff coming up. Issue 4, he takes on Nazi zombies
nice,
that are being run by an angry orange.
amazing. I love
I
this.
mean,
I love this so much. I need to read
yeah,
this so
and
bad.
the first issue is like instead of him like getting drunk at a bar, he's drinking tomato soup.
That's great.
You
That's so
know,
great. Yeah.
and this issue, the second issue, which is what's coming out very very soon, as soon as I get the copies
Mhm.
from y'all, is it takes a very David Lynch turn, and the
Ooh,
reason it takes a very David Lynch turn is because I want to set up in the book that you can go anywhere at this point, because his assistant is a man named Dylan Pickle, and yes, he is a pickle. And the reason why it's hard for him to be Sam's assistant is because Sam was in the Great War, and the Great War is the Sandwich and Pickle War. I actually have some posters made up that say Sam behind enemy lines, and it's him looking like Sergeant Rock.
Oh,
With
that's great.
so that's at some point in the run, depending if it picks up, that Sam will be we'll do prequel stuff. This first storyline that we're doing is probably only going to be 4 issues, and then I'm going to look into doing a trade.
Cool.
It's called Old Gods, New Cards.
It's great.
Because I'm just going to tell you what happens, so they can have something to look forward to. Sam is hired to babysit Cthulhu, and at one point, and the only thing he can think to do is play Go Fish with an old god.
This is great. I'm so excited for this.
And so I'll get on a tear, and I'll just start doing. I think I have like 5 or 6 pages done for issue 3 already. And I don't usually write a script out. I just kind of outline it, and then I go from there, because it's easier for me, at least, to have an outline of what is supposed to happen and then just kind of riff. For whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, but it works.
Yeah, no,
but whatever works, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like my book is the Curb Your Enthusiasm of comic books.
Love it. Oh man, love it. It's crazy how much I could talk about Curb all day, but like it's crazy how much improv that show really is. You know, they really just have a general plot for the episode, and they just wing it, and that's what makes so many of those actors that come on that show so great, because they need people who could improv.
Right.
I'm a Curb fanatic, so yeah, you caught my so many things. David Lynch. I'm on a Twin Peaks binge right now with my girlfriend. Like everything you've named is right up my alley.
Yeah,
I love it all.
And I will say with the second issue of Sam, there is a joke in there that is like the highlight of the issue. If you know the show Dallas, that's how deep things go. So if you don't, and there are things that, like, there are points when it gets meta, but not Deadpool meta. Like they don't talk to the reader. It's more like just making comments. Like when he meets the person that hires him to babysit Cthulhu, and you find out his name is a riff on filet mignon. Sam actually looks at him and is like, "Great, another food pun." And he's like, "What did you say?" He's like, "Nothing." You know, like he knows that this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but he's not. Yeah, so.
Oh, it's so much fun. But what got you to like start creating in general and coming up with these worlds?
I've been a filmmaker for about 15 years now.
Oh, wow.
And I ran into some health problems. And so I kind of had to find I've always wanted to work in comics, though, because I remember reading the beginning of the Muir Island saga, the first issue, when Rogue and Strong Guy are on the cover about to fight. And that was like 4 or 5 issues right before the Jim Lee run of X-Men with the 4 covers.
Yeah.
So that's when I got into comics. And at that point, I was just like, I can, and with comics, the best thing is I can do way more with comics than I can with movies, because I don't have to worry about a budget.
Budget, a team, like aligning, scheduling, all that stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
I've dabbled in film myself, and it's so fun, it's so exhilarating, so exciting, and so
it's
awesome
also very stressful.
So stressful and so
hard. Like, and comics, the only thing I worry about is coming up with the money to print it. Yeah. But issue 2 of Sam Witch is available now. People can get it digitally at and everywhere. I'm on social media is I'm Uncle Ron. That's because I don't have any kids, and all my friends have kids, so I'm Uncle Ron. So I just figured I'd fall into it.
I love it. I was a big fan of the movie Captain Ron. So
there you go. I get that a lot too. And so I felt like comics was the next best way to go. And I've had ideas for other stuff, but Sam kind of takes precedence for obvious reasons. I did have a problem with my arm. I had to go into the ER for, and it's my dominant arm. And I'm like, oh no. So I will see how things go, because like I said, issue 2 is out digitally. It's not out physically yet. So I still have a little bit of time. And I think having like 4 or 5 pages done already kind of gives me a little bit of a leeway. So we'll see how my arm goes. I've been doing little Sam like Instagram pictures.
Yep. Yep.
just to kind of see, like, here. In fact, I'll show you one I haven't even posted yet, if you're interested.
Ooh, yes,
Yes,
please. I was
it
looking at your
is.
page right before all this. I would love to see that.
Yes, this is going to go on the Instagram, but let me
Mm.
pull it back so.
Tilted. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow.
And we all
Dude,
know
that's
who that is.
adorable. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh. Dude, the cigarette, I love it. I love it so
And
much.
the cigarette never leaves his mouth, no matter what.
That's
No
the
matter
best.
what. So that's something I need to tell people before they read issue 2. If you see him without the cigarette, something's going on.
Oh, that's a good clue.
Let's just keep that in
There
mind.
you go.
Yeah. So, because that cigarette it never shrinks, it never leaves his mouth, and there's a lot of inside jokes coming up in the book.
Ooh,
When he gets back in issue 4 to where he lives in Gotham City.
love it. That's
Yeah.
the best.
There is his landlord shows up in that issue,
Oh,
and he's a graham cracker, and he's an angry graham cracker. And the only reason he came up is because when we were doing a signing for Free Comic Book Day, we were in front of an insurance guy's spot outside, and he showed up and he got super pissed. It's like, it's a Saturday, you're not open,
yeah.
and he got real mad. So and his last name is Graham. So
There you go.
welcome to the world of Sam Witch.
There you go. That's what we creators do. I won't lie.
Yeah, you have
We
to.
will hold that.
You have to tell. That's how you get through stuff.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to kind of. Therapy can be expensive, and sometimes it doesn't work, and you have to find a way to handle things. And making someone into a graham cracker in a polo shirt, who's pissed that the rent is late.
Perfect.
I
love
and
it.
maybe might be getting bitten by a Nazi zombie, and there might be a bite mark in out of the graham
Ooh,
cracker. So
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
it's
I love that.
I'm topical, Nazi zombies.
Well, you said issue 2 is available digitally right now. Is issue 1 also available digitally for
Yes.
people to check
Yeah,
out?
I'm working on getting everything. It's a good thing that this is taped, because I'm working on getting everything available through imuncleron.com. If you do, it is on Gumroad, though. If you hit me up on social media at imuncleron, I can send you the link for both.
Cool.
If you're interested, it's super easy. I'm working on it to get it on imuncleron.com. And then, you can just click the link, go there, and you get your PDF. Gumroad, by the way, is like the creator of the comic book creator's best friend, because of all this. I do everything digitally. So all the brushes and everything, it's like, here, we'll give you these for free. I'm like, oh, yes, you will.
Nice. I'll look into that. That's really cool. It's a good resource to throw out there as well. We'll probably toss a link in here for people to check out.
Yeah,
well.
there's a lot of people who make brushes that I'm looking for, and I for the longest time I had a hard time doing speech bubbles, and there are people out there who make them that you just put them in there and you can resize them and whatever. And I'm just like, oh, that's it's a $20 investment that's going to save me so much time.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's awesome. I love finding other, access and accessibility and just resources for creators. So thank you for that.
Yes.
And in general, Ron, this has been an awesome, 15 minutes of fame spotlight moment. I'm super excited to talk to you. Even in this brief time, we got to bring you on Inspired Ink to get a long form interview, because
I'm down.
obviously there's so much to digest here and so much
there
fun.
is.
When do you have your any big releases coming out? Do you have any dates that you want to shout out real fast?
I don't know. It all depends on when I get the books. Then I can set up the signing, because the comic shop wants me to be there on Black Friday, but I kind of think it might be a bad idea, just because everyone's out shopping.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss. We were actually planning the Black Friday event too. It was
so it might be the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which would probably work, because people are in town and that kind of thing. I will say this, though, and this is what really kind of made me realize that I had something here, is that at the comic shop, one of the guys that gets his books mailed to him, but it's like a box full. He hit me up and he's like, hey, can you put 2 signed copies in there? So like, I've already sold 2 copies. So I'm like, oh, so all right, that works for me. And I'm very, very excited about this. And shout out to Legendary Comics, because they're fantastic here in Racine. They've been here 33 years. That's they opened 2 years before my brother was born. It's scary. It's like I'm getting old. I'm
I
getting
feel you
old.
there. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like
We all are sadly.
getting the AARP stuff in the mail. I'm starting to be like, should I sign? Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe
These
that's probably a
discounts
good
kind of
idea.
sound so good.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, well, can I save money on my car insurance? I can't. Oh, okay, good. It's like I'm more
Oh,
excited about buying a new vacuum than I am, this, that, or the other thing. And yeah, but no, I've always been a big comic person. And it's funny because there's actually, I don't know what, okay, a couple of things coming up then, I guess. I'm trying to figure out how to sell some of the digital sketches I've done of Sam as superheroes.
mhm.
There's one of him as the Holy Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. There's one of him as Gambit, which I'm really proud of. It's called Sambit. And then there's Sam Nito, and all sorts of stuff. And I did one where he kind of looks like the Kurt Barlow vampire from Salem's Lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there's, and I've been getting a lot of people saying this and asking for them. So I'm working on, how T Public is a big thing now, and it's a wonderful thing. So I'm working on getting sandwich shirts and other things like that. That way I can use all that money to put towards printing physical copies. And yeah, so Sam might be adorning. Yeah, and if you're in the southeastern Wisconsin area, because this will be up before the signing, Legendary Comics in Racine, Wisconsin, and I will have stickers available. They don't have Sam on them, but they say "I believe in Sam Witch," and so I'm very excited about that. It's yeah, so we'll see what happens, and I might. T Public has the ability to do posters and stuff, so I'm hoping maybe a Sam poster, a Sam T-shirt, something.
Love it. Dude, that's
So,
so awesome. I hope all of everybody go check out the links so we could support Ron and get these things going and get these things in print. And that way you all can have amazing imprint copies of these books because they just sound so much fun. Ron, this is so exciting. We got to digest this more when we bring you on the show in long form. We have so much to talk about and to
oh
follow
yes,
up on, apparently, on these
yeah,
events as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
no
And thanks for
problem.
stepping into the spotlight. It's been a blast.
The
I
lights are
hope
a
you have
little
a good
bright,
one.
but thank you. Yeah,
Love it. Cool. Thank you so much, Ron. You have
yep.
a good one.
You too.